Welcome to another episode of my Motortown playthrough. We are back with my little project car over here, and it's time to take it on the rally track. First time of me trying to figure out if this is really such a good idea after all. I basically saw this on the map and thought, yeah, there's something here. And if it's something good or bad is what we are going to see today. So let's get going. To be fair, I've made an attempt at this already. Went about 200 meters, and even before that turn over there I hit a few rocks, went off the road and something like that. Immediately high-centered the vehicle. I think it was even this rock right there, so please stay away from that. So yeah, there are a few scattered around these roads, and that may be a bit of a problem. My suspension is already very soft, my car is already as high as it can be, so this doesn't really bode too well for the entire idea, but it would be tough doing much on the off-road stuff here if I completely avoided this. There are a lot of dirt roads that just are littered with these kind of rocks, and they are going to be a problem. So yeah, I don't know. Of course I'm being wanted, so that doesn't really help either. Can't even see the cop on the map, so that means I have to wait here. I'll have to see if this doesn't call for a change of plans after all. I think he's finally come around the corner. And if you could please give me my fine, and then he even misses me. Let us kindly piss off in the distance. Just so that I don't get fined again, because there's no way I'm going to adhere to the traffic rules now. So yeah, we have to turn the car around. We are going to catch back up to the police car, and the entire thing is gonna start again. He already saw me, even though he is a bit daft when it comes to actually catching me, and even if I'm a stationary target, doesn't really just stop in front of me and give me my fine directly. I have to come after him. Oh, God. So, but yeah, for this entire thing it would be nice to get a few opinions, although right now I'm recording a few things in advance, so it may take a while for me to actually come back and really implement any feedback. I would love to hold this rally with these types of cars. There would be a few others as well, but with those rocks, I mean, we've already seen what it can turn into, so I'm not entirely sure right now. I hope these would be maybe a bit less of an issue with off-roading setup that I have right here, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I did rework the suspension a bit after the last episode, so it's a tiny bit stiffer now, especially when it comes to the anti-roll bars, but also the suspension, so maybe I could go a bit softer again, but I'm not entirely sure if that would really fix everything. I might have to try, just do this run, get back into the suspension setup, and then try another one, see if that actually helps it. If it doesn't, I'm not entirely sure if this route is a good idea after all. Also, I completely messed up last episode when it came to the final drive ratio. I should have taken something lower in the list in order to make the car a bit more responsive, but instead I went higher, and therefore the entire thing became even more sluggish. I'm still running the 240 horsepower engine, so it should be around 280 to 300 horsepower with the turbocharger. So that's all working pretty well. It's kinda actually pretty close to real life rally specifications in that regard. They all go up to around 300 horsepower. I think mine might be a bit slower, but also I don't think they usually go for this kind of suspension setup. They of course are a bit higher than regular cars, but I think this is another step beyond that. So we are going to see if I even need the 6th gear in order to get up to top speed here. The real challenge is gonna be on the road after this section here. But yeah, the Gappa road thankfully doesn't have any off-road rocks, so this is safe. But once we get into medium, that's where we're gonna encounter them again. Screw this stop sign. I don't know what it is today. I thought it would be a good time now to do some recordings, but I'm like really feeling like my brain doesn't want to function properly. There's another police car in front of me. And I'm not even able to stay on the road with this vehicle. So maybe taking the off-road tires isn't even that necessary. I might also try going for racing tires instead. Okay, I need to go into 6th gear, but I'm not really doing much of a job here, just keeping the speed. I mean, in the end, this is just the first run. There should be many more. There should be more fine-tuning to the car. So there are a few more things that could be done. That car in front of me would actually be another one of those that would be allowed in the event. Basically what I did was I went to the TWL thread that they have on car testing, and they have some classes sussed out already that worked well together, and yeah, this turn is gonna be a problem with how unexpectedly it arrives. And yeah, I just took the class that the Vista naturally fits in. Took out a few other cars that I didn't feel like would be working out for this. Like the Mages and the Cora. So that's the in-game version of the Supra and the BMW M2, which I've been using quite often. They are nice cars, but I don't really think of them when I think rally. So they got the boot in this instance. For a road racing event, that would be a whole other thing. But off-road, nah. And yeah, back on the dirt now. And I think we are on the dirt for good now, so no more road on this event. I feel what I want to do is get harder dampeners in. We are really just wiggling quite a lot. And maybe the stronger engine isn't that bad of an idea after all. Would bring me up to almost 400 horsepower. I don't want to go with V12s here, and that's a very large boulder coming up there. But this one right here, I mean, I'm kind of slightly struggling with the road, but it also feels like I should be going quicker. Also, I don't think I'll be checking out the other cars. I kind of want to have this car anyways, and this whole event thing is just something that I kind of had in the back of my mind for a while. At least the tracks, and well, tuning this into an off-road car was what I was set out to begin with. So this entire thing just kind of came together. Oop, that was another boulder. And spun it out. Also, if I recall correctly, all of those vehicles for that rally will be rear-wheel drive. So there's no four-wheel drive vehicle to be found there. Which I think just makes the entire thing fair. Oh god. I saw that coming, but I didn't really have the handling to avoid it. And now I'm apparently stuck in that tree. And there's the Hydro. Don't really care too much about that. I just wish it didn't care for me either. We are going to get onto the trail in a moment anyways. So that should be alright. Another rock that I want to avoid. But yeah, I'm gonna try softer suspension and harder dampeners just to see if I can make this any smoother. Especially if I can somehow compensate for some of the other stuff happening. Like with rocks and everything. But yeah, this should be fun. Bit tricky, but fun. If you don't get stuck at least. Also, there are a few drops that you have to be careful about, so since I'm not entirely sure where they are exactly, I'm trying to be a bit conservative so I don't just jump off like this thing over here. Okay, a bit of radiator damage, but that's something to be expected at this point. And yeah, I know my buses are in bad condition again. I'll take care of them once I'm finished here. I don't really want to interrupt this. Also, one thing that I've been meaning to talk about, and I think in the middle of the episode that's such a good point to place this. Not really, but let's talk about it anyways. Alright. I actually forgot my Brutus Wrecker over here. That's certainly not in the way. I'm considering to maybe take a break from this character that I'm playing right now. So this save file and all of that, I don't want to abandon it or anything, but I'm considering to maybe switch it up a bit and start a new character on a different rule set. So I would actually be restricting myself from using any teleports and actually also making vehicles that I drive kind of permanent fixtures in the game. So not just summoning them in at any parking lot around the game and stuff like that. I would maybe store them at my own house or something so that I can just take care of them that way, and I don't just have them standing around everywhere all the time. But I wouldn't just be summoning them in at all the different points and everything. I'd just be trying to make it a bit less about making money and all of that, and more about the early game experience again. That's something that I really like about this game, just trying to really establish a few things. Also, I'm slowly running out of fuel, which I'm noticing. But yeah, that kinda is my idea, just starting again at least for a while. It wouldn't be anything like this where I would reach to 1,000 levels, I don't think. I would definitely come back to this one eventually, but yeah, just to get a bit of a different feel for the game. And to be clear, I'm not entirely sure if I really have the patience for something like that. Maybe it's not gonna work out and I would be abandoning that whole idea sooner than later. But I think it would be at least fun to try. Of course I hit one very shortly before the end here. And yeah, somewhere around this would be the finish line, and therefore we are done with the rally. The fuel remaining is a bit concerning. So I'm not entirely sure if that would last, but hey, we made it at least. So I'm gonna get my black Campy in here. Drive it off the parking lot. And then let's teleport back over to Gangyang. Also take care of the buses. And let's sort by name. And yeah, I called the new one Vista RX. The other one is once again the downgraded version with the inline 4 engine. And that's a solid cruiser. Also one reason why I got the idea of maybe restarting, and it would likely be one of the few vehicles that I would be getting again. Just because just kind of forcing myself to play by the game's traffic rules a bit more potentially. Having a slow car like that is also just nice to drive. Kind of just makes you obey the traffic laws a bit more. Also by default, because you're not being that fast to begin with, but especially because you're not being that fast all the time. Like this thing here, that's a beast. And I'm kind of driving it like an idiot, so that's why I get all the traffic violations. Let's see, I'm just curious right now, how much power does the car have here? Almost 293 horsepower. And if I upgrade the engine, that would be 493. So almost 500 horsepower. I know that's the V12, of course. I would be going with this one, and that would be 295 or 290. 396. God damn it. Brain. I think I'm gonna try this one next, just to check it out. We may also have to change the final drive ratio for that. This is pretty short. I think on the other car I had something like this one over here. 456, that should work out pretty well. And let's take a look at the suspension. So I'm running 150% on front, 120 on rear. And I think I want to go with 100% on front and 80 on the rear. Plus some stiffer dampeners. Let's see, maybe 300% on front. Gonna buy a few more. And 200% on the rear. It's already at 150. Let's just go with this one. I may have done that the wrong way around to begin with. I was meant to make the front harder than the rear. But just having everything at 300%, we are going to find out in a moment how that's going to work out. I'm not gonna run the entire track again because that would be a bit boring, I guess. Anything else I don't think I need? But yeah, just to check out the suspension, I want to get back here. And once I've done that, I want to teleport back over here and try out the car on the new trail. Just to see how that's going to work out. Oh, it's a bit more feisty. That doesn't bode too well. I'm not sure if I can just avoid all the rocks. Yeah, I just drove directly towards that, and there's no real way at racing speeds to just avoid all of those. Somebody would have to go along the track and just mark out every single one with a cone. I think then it would be possible, but that would be ridiculous. And yeah, as per usual, there are a few areas in which I'm getting frame drops. Not too much I can do about it, but I hope they fix those issues. Then again, this has a whole lot of oof! I was meant to say a whole lot of vegetation. At least I managed to get back on the wheels. Okay, managed to hit that with my body and not the wheels. And this time I also teared the radiator, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, you don't see anything coming and then it's just gonna yeet you. That's potentially a bit unfun. So maybe I'll try and see if I can get something that's off-road ready by default. So that would be a bit higher anyways. And then people at least have the option to upgrade it a bit further in that direction. It's getting really high with the chassis and hopefully that would help it. But these vehicles all starting out as road-going cars, that's not necessarily gonna be too amazing. Maybe the dampers are a bit too stiff right now. But it makes the thing feel really good. And yeah, there are no roads like that on Lijo Island, so that rallycross tag is pretty safe. It's just the question if I can really upgrade this car to deal with those rocks, and I don't think that's really possible. Yeah, this part, it's amazing. Yeah, I kinda tried to go in around that, but I turned in too soon. So it was a bit more grippy than I expected initially. And once again, a bit too soon. I should have also tried the new tires, but then again, I think it's better maybe having a second run, or a third run in this case, and trying out the different tires there instead of changing everything at once, and then not knowing if all the stuff that you did was actually beneficial. General rule of thumb with setups like these is change one thing at a time and then test if it had a positive effect or a negative one. With me still being quite far away from the setup that I want to have, doing a few minor things in the same direction should be alright. But in the end, once you get to the finer details, and God, the tires are almost used up already, then it's better to take things a bit slower. And yeah, since I said it already, let's quickly have a look around the new trail again. I don't think much is gonna have changed, if anything. I just wanted to check out how this vehicle behaves on there. Just to see if that would be another option for later down the line. Once this thing opens, maybe we could have another event here. Most likely time attack. This is not wide enough for overtaking. Also, I redid some of the lamps in between episodes. The light bar on top actually is, there is a little trick with it. I put it on the thing upside down, and it actually has a different hitbox and allows me to put it closer to the vehicle's body. I really don't like how a lot of lamps are actually floating. It just doesn't really look right. And that little trick allowed me to make things a bit smoother. But generally speaking, I'm not entirely sure if I like having the 6 lamps over there. It's a bit much. It's cool in a way, but maybe not not what I really want here. Okay, I'm not able to make it up there anymore. Should have maybe tried this with the off-road tires, so let's have one last run over here. And see if this has improved by any means. Oh, this one also has a rear light in the spoiler, which is nice. For a moment I thought it was just a reflection or something. Seriously? But yeah, I think for the event, if it's going to be the course here, I would likely advise people to just get some ferry cans so they can quickly pull over and just refuel if they need to. Could of course just go past the gas station and all of that. Okay, this is definitely less controllable than before. A lot more drifty, which kind of feels appropriate, but maybe not amazing. Even the traffic has problems with the rocks. Yeah, definitely need off-road tires for this one. And those are not gonna be too fun because they are very expensive, have low mileage, and after 20% of that mileage they are apparently already used up to a point where you get a penalty on handling. Well, I don't know. There are multiple colors for when they start giving you a different... um, there are multiple percentages at which you get a different color. And I know for a fact that once you get to the second color, like orange or something, it's not gonna be a good time anymore. So yeah, the thing that I was meaning to say that I just completely blanked out on is that maybe at 20% the handling might still be okay, but as soon as you get to like 40 or 50, whatever it was, the handling really starts deteriorating. You lose grip massively at that point. Okay. Maybe I'll try this area again for the last time in this episode, just to get a more proper look at how the wheels behave. I think Gappa is a better place to try this out, just for the lack of annoying rocks. Yeah. Gone are the times where I would just turn in too early into the corners. This now feels more like what I'm used to. So off-road tires required. I think the next thing that I'll do is I'll take the Voltex. That's my off-road pickup truck that I've used for a few of these episodes. And I'll try the entire route with that one, and maybe then I'll switch over the event to something like that, just so that people have an option for something that's a bit higher off the ground. Maybe I'll also just soften the suspension a bit more, as far as possible. But right now, as it is, I'm not entirely happy with how the event would go with all of those rocks and high speed and everything. There's no way to really repair your vehicle, and if you just end up completely wrecking it on the first raid, it's not gonna be too much fun for the rest of the event. I mean, this part can completely destroy your vehicle right now, and then everything else here is where you will have to deal with the consequences. Of course, this area isn't that easy either. It has the rocks as well, but it's so much more curvy that would not really have you go up to that same kind of speed as this one over here. And I don't know when the rocks end, but I think over here in that trail area, that's not that much of an issue. So yeah, definitely given me something to think about with the testing today. Let me know what your conclusions are on the entire thing, and we'll see about it. Also, let me know what you think about the car's tuning right now. If I if I happen to get a good idea for a custom livery for the car, I would definitely try making one. But right now, it's not the worst thing. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. Bye bye.